Hi girlies, this is Sassy, a little bit of class. We're back. It's Sunday. We've got a brand new mic. We've got new lights. I'm feeling a wee bit profesh. We're only, well, this is the sixth ep, but I've actually only really done 5 episodes and I've already got myself an actual professional mic. What am I like? Anyway, I'm just going to set the scene for you. It's thunder and lightning outside. It's absolutely pouring down. My little mic is picking up every single cinder in me, so I apologise about that. But it's keeping the vibes real, okay? So yeah, thunder lightning outside. I've got a little candle set. I've got a cute little like cozy jogger set on, pink of course. Freshly got my nails done. So yeah, I'm feeling cute. I'm feeling girly, and we're just going to dive right in. Today we're going to be discussing self-sabotage. This is something that I struggled with when I was younger. So yeah, let's dive right in. So I've got myself cozy now. Don't know if you could hear that, but cute and cozy. Got my little it's not a frappe, it's literally just a cold coffee. So yeah, self-sabotage is basically when before something bad happens or you think something bad might happen that's going to hurt you or going to be traumatizing or going to affect you, you will sabotage this, okay? Kind of like that game that everyone was playing for a while. I can't remember what it's called. Was it called Saboteur? No, that sounds like Trapped. Remember that? Remember that little BBC thing? Anyway, what was that game called? Imposter. Kind of like that, okay? Before anything bad happens, okay, you go in, okay, like a little imposter, and you go, I'm going to do that bad, so that'll cause an argument, and then if it ends. So on my terms, basically that's what it means, okay? I used to do this with relationships, friendships, still kind of do it, can't lie. You might do it too, you never know, but I just don't let anyone close, okay? And I've been deep diving. Basically, this is what I do, okay? When I do an episode, I basically deep dive and go, right, why did I do this and what's happened for this to then now be my personality, basically, okay? And so yeah, this is where the episode ideas come from, okay? It's basically stuff that I do that you might relate to and that I'm trying to like work on. That's probably why in every episode I go, yes, I need to work on that. That's why, okay? Because this is how the episodes come about, okay? Anyway, not to get straight in and get deep, okay? Basically, I think this all stemmed from me losing my gran. So my gran passed away when I was 12, just about to turn 13. It was 5 days before my birthday, Christmas Day, and that was like our favourite time of year. And I think since then, I really struggled to let anyone in. And yeah, I'm actually going to do a full episode, which sounds weird, of like my gran and the relationship and the impact that she's had, because without my gran I wouldn't be the person I am today, and that's like fact, right? Basically everything I do, everything I say, I always rethink. I'm like, what would my gran do? What would she say? Like, yeah, would she like that I'm doing this? What would her opinion be? Basically, and she would absolutely love this pod. By the way, I think she would have this. I think she would have this on in the background doing her cleaning. Do you know what I mean? I think losing my gran really had obviously a negative impact, but I think obviously everyone loses grandparents, okay? But and not to be like my situation's worse than yours. I've seen people lose grandparents and not care. Not that sounds bad, okay. I think it depends what kind of relationship you've had with your grandparents. If it's been like you're really close and you see each other all the time, then obviously it's going to affect you deeper than if you're quite distant, like, do you know what I mean? You're obviously still going to care and possibly grieve them, but might not be as bad. Everyone loses grandparents, but my gran was like the glue to my family, right? So she held everyone together, she organised parties, she was like the main gal, okay? She was honestly Queen Bee. So I think losing my gran when I was 12, maybe 13, it's a tricky time anyway, okay? You're going through puberty, you don't really know what's going on. You've probably just started high school, you're just trying to like settle in and your life's kind of moving about. And when I was younger, I used to move house a lot, okay? Still stayed, I didn't like travel or anything, I was in the same area, but I used to like move house. So I didn't really have that set thing, okay? My gran, on the other hand, she's always stayed since I've been alive, always stayed in the same house. So like even now, I'll go, oh, I'm going to my grand's house. My gran doesn't stay there anymore, but it's still my grand's house. Do you know what I mean? When she passed, I was kind of like, what do I do now? Do you know what I mean? That was like stability in my life. She always had the same house. I always knew she was going to be in. I could stay there whenever I wanted. Um, she used to always have like interesting stories and that to tell me. And then all of a sudden, she's no longer here. And what am I meant to do? Since then, I found it really, really hard to let anyone close, and I've probably let the wrong people stay in my life. I feel like me talking about my gran to Connor is different because Connor never met her. So I feel like I'm having to describe her and really be like, she was so lovely, blah, blah, blah. But to my friends that knew my gran and met my gran and spent time with my gran and came to like my birthday parties and came to our house for tea and things like that. Or sometimes then if I was out and I ended up around my gran's house, I would just nip in and just have a wee chat. So I've kind of kept them friends close because I could say to them like, oh, remember this time with my gran, and it's not weird for me to bring her up because they were literally there. Bit of a weird way of thinking, and definitely not a healthy way of thinking because I've definitely kept the wrong people in my life because them meeting my gran when they were literally 10, they're completely different people now that they're like in their 20s, okay? So, yeah, don't do that. So yeah, I find it really hard to let go of people that met my gran because I feel like they have a connection to me that like even Connor doesn't have. Like Connor never met my gran, and I feel like when I speak to him, well, not now, I feel like he probably knows her now. He never really will understand exactly because he never got the chance to meet her, and that's why I want to keep those people that could be negative in my life, and that's why I give them chance after chance after chance. But the friends that I do, and I mean all my friends, so we're talking like every single person in my life, okay? That I would call a friend, I basically keep them at an arm's length. I don't tell them if anything bad's happening. I won't go to them for advice. I just won't tell them. And if I do tell them something, it'll be months after. I'll be like, oh my god, this happened. It was wild. And they'll go, oh my god, like, when did this even happen? I'd be like, oh, like 3 months ago. Like, oh, you seem totally fine. Yeah, I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, my life actually is really, really good just now, but I'm just talking like for an example. This is when the self-sabotage comes in. So because I keep them at like an arm's length and I won't tell them anything, they'll maybe think they can't tell me things, so we'll never have that deep relationship. And a lot of my friends do actually come to me because, like I said before, I am the therapy friend, okay? And a therapy friend, when you go to therapy, okay, you've got counselling or whatever, they don't tell you about themselves. They don't. That's not their job, okay? Their job is to listen to like your problems. So when I say I'm a therapy friend, I mean that I am. Because they'll come to me with all their problems, but I won't tell them anything. I was actually speaking about this to my mum. I'll tell my mum everything, my dad everything, like we'll have like a wee gossip, like it's so good. And obviously Connor as well. But I don't know if that's because they are secure in my life and I know for a fact what they're going to do, disown me. Do you know what I mean? As if I'm an absolute delight. So yeah, never going to happen. So I kind of know that that's like stable in my life. And obviously I've told you about like obviously friendships and that before that I've had. Things like that have like affected how I view friendships, and I think it's really hard to like open up and tell like, oh my god, like me and Connor had an argument but we were having for tea, for example, obviously. And I just feel like they won't, nothing that they say I don't think could help, and I'm very self-aware. I don't think I could actually go to therapy because I think I already know. Like I obviously deep dive a lot, hence all the episodes, but I deep dive a lot and I know exactly why I think the way I think and why I act the way I act. I just kind of learn myself how to maybe stop that. And even if I want to, like just because I know and I recognise that I do self-sabotage, that doesn't mean that I'll stop it. Because to me, I think it's a healthy thing. It's not a healthy thing, but it kind of just works for me. Like, let's put it this way, the easiest way, okay? If my friends came to me with a problem and I took a step back and didn't deal with it, okay? And I didn't give them advice and I kind of went, bye, sorry, I'm not here for you. They rage. They would be like, okay, what's going on? But if I have an issue and my friends aren't there, I don't even notice. And that's not really on them, that's on me, because I feel like I can't go to people for any problems that I'm having. And yeah, that's self-sabotage because people will be like that, oh, like, I'm positive care about, not really that close, and I tell her so much and she doesn't tell me anything. And yeah, it is a problem. And I've had a few friends being like, I feel like I can't tell you because you don't tell me anything. And I'm like, that. Sorry. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I don't know, I just can't. I'd rather just keep it in my like family circle. I'd rather just tell my mum, dad and Connor. And my brother and sister love a wee gossip as well, so I'll tell them. So that's like the 5 that I'll tell. And yeah, that's it really. There has been one thing actually. This is a bit of a weird one, okay? There's one friend that knows this, and that's it. And I've spoke about it to my mum. I don't know if I told my dad or not. But basically, this thing keeps happening to me, okay? When I was younger, you probably all do this as well, and I think I probably would still do this too. You hurt yourself, you would laugh, cry. You would cry because it was sore, and you'd laugh because it was hilarious the way it happened, okay? So I remember like being really young, must have been about 8 or 9, and I was laughing, or I was like leaning back, and I bumped my head off like the windowsill, and I was laugh crying. It was hilarious, but it was really sore. Right? So that's one thing. That's normal, okay? But I've started doing this thing where I could be laughing and all of a sudden I'll start sobbing and then I can't breathe because my body's like, right, what's going on? And it's like I don't know, I can't say what a panic attack feels like because I've never had one, but I would imagine that's what it feels like. I feel like I can't catch a breath and my body's like that. That's really horrible and it's quite scary. So this has happened twice and they were quite bad, quite scary. Didn't happen again the other day. Hadn't happened for about 2 months maybe. And it happened the other day. Basically, me and Connor were speaking, and then he's like got up and elbowed me, rude, in the face or in the mouth. Can't even remember where it was now. And I wasn't even that sore. It wasn't sore enough to cry. There was actually no need. So I started crying, and then I started laughing, and then I couldn't breathe. And I had one of the like panic breathing episodes, whatever it's called. I don't want to use the term panic attack because it's not like that. I don't think. Yeah, it's just a bit strange and it really freaks me out. And I've googled it. Obviously, it told me I was dying. I ChatGPT'd it as well, and it told me death. No, it didn't. It said it basically said it's nothing to worry about. And it's just kind of like my body doesn't really know how to respond. But I'm scared in case I start doing that at work. Could you imagine I hurt myself? I go over my ankle. People say I've got chocolate ankles, okay? And they just snap. Sorry, that's disgusting. Um, but yeah, I can just be walking in a straight line on a flat surface, and my left ankle just go, and it'll be great. And then it's normally somewhere I need to drive home, so you can imagine how painful. Yeah. So yeah, I'm scared in case like I hurt myself or I find someone so funny at work, and I start laugh crying, and then I can't breathe because Connor had to walk away the other day. He thought that's creepy. Sorry. The first 2 times were severe, were really bad, and they lasted ages. And as if I'm coming out of it, and Connor goes, it's only happened in front of Connor, by the way. As I'm coming out of it, if he then goes, "Are you okay?" I'll go right back in. I'll like relapse, and I'm right back, laugh, crying, can't breathe, and I'm panicking, and I'm like that. I'm like I'm like inhaling quickly, like sharp inhales, and it's terrifying. And yeah, I'm not really sure what that's all about, to be fair, but it's really scary. And there was actually a time that um we're honestly, me and Connor are actually children. That's like the answer. If someone says what's the question to happy relationship, I'd say honestly be children because this is what we do all the time. So if we end up losing each other in say Tesco's, okay, we will then hide from each other, okay, and usually like so say like I'll see him and then I'll hide and I'll make sure he can see me like run away from him, and we're both laughing. So I was hysterically laughing on my own, okay, and then I could feel it. I could feel that like that feeling of I'm going to start sobbing here. Why am I sobbing in the middle of Tesco, laugh crying, and I just had to like I don't even know what I'd done. I don't know if I just took deep breaths and just kind of thought you cannot do this in Tesco, like no. But sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't like compress it and it just comes out. But yeah, luckily enough I didn't do it in Tesco, I was just laughing. But why am I crying over me and Connor playing hide and seek? It was literally me hiding from him. Do you know what I mean? Like why am I there was no reason really. Yeah, it's just like my body goes into overdrive and it's like fight or flight. It's like we'll do both. Do you know what I mean? It's just yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a scary situation. If any of you experience that, please let me know why. Because it's terrifying and I don't want it to ever happen again. Another way that I would self-sabotage would be when me and Connor started going out, I used to ask him questions that I knew would annoy me. And we started arguing and I think in my head, oh well, we're arguing all the time anyway, so if we end, like I don't care. And deep down I actually would have cared, okay, but it was kind of just like this barrier, like if I cause these arguments and we're having and then I can convince myself that we're arguing all the time, but the reason we're arguing all the time is literally because of me. And if he was to walk away and leave, I'd be like, well, I don't even like you anyway. Do you know what I mean? Going back to the friend situation, if you were to ask my friends where I worked, I guarantee they wouldn't be able to tell you. They wouldn't tell you what I do and roughly what area I work in, but they wouldn't be able to name where I actually work. Okay? I don't tell them. And it's really as simple as that. Basically, if someone's like, oh, your pal is like talking about you behind your back, I'd be like, my pal? We're not pals, she doesn't even know where I work. She doesn't know anything about me. And that's to basically affect me getting hurt. It's my front. That's what I do. I'm like, oh, we weren't even pals anyway. She didn't even know this about me. She didn't know that about me. I actually said this to one of my friends and she really wasn't happy with me, sorry. But I find it hard to say, oh yeah, like that's my friend, or yeah, that's my best friend, in case they do me wrong. Like, how embarrassing would that be for me if I'm like, oh my god, like that's my best friend, and then they go away and they've actually been talking shit about me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I overthink everything, and I analyze everything and like pre-plan everything before. If me and Connor, if Connor said to me, do you want to go out for a tea, I go, yeah, that's fine. But in my head I'm like, yeah, because that means if you go to the restaurant with me and then you break up with me, that means if you then go here with someone else, you'll be thinking of me. It's like I was trying to like pre-plan a breakup, right? I just thought he was going to leave me anyway, so I may as well go in here so he remembers me. Is this self-sabotage? Is this just delusion? Like, what is going on? I actually don't know. Sorry, I feel like I'm really jumping from like relationship to friends, but you'll just keep up, okay? So I feel like with my friends, I'm very like reserved. I'll tell them enough, okay? I'll tell them what they need to know to kind of keep them in the loop a wee bit, but I won't go in detail. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we've all got friends that we kind of go to for different things. I remember growing up, this girl was my best friend, and guess what? We're not friends anymore. Anyway, triggered. This is why I just can't. I was also speaking with someone the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I've had like loads of best friends." I'm like, "Yeah, see, I hate that. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to look back and go, oh yeah, his best friends with her, and then his best friends with her, and then we felt and his best friends with her, and I told her, do you know what I mean? I just want one little best friend, okay? And I just want us to stay best friends. But I will not get a best friend if I can't open up, because what are we going to talk about? Do you know what I mean? Nothing. So yeah. And to be fair, I'm kind of happy with my little circle as it is. I know for a fact I'm Connor's best friend. He's my best friend. We do everything together and I could never get bored of him. He gets on my nerves, of course, and I definitely rile him up. But that's the best situation. And I feel like with all my friends, I could like slag them off. They could slag me off. Like, that's the best. Thank you very much. I can meet them all one-on-one. I think I just thrive off of like one-on-one energy. I don't really like big groups. But when I am in a big group, I'm like the speaker. I'm more of the talker. Unless I'm feeling intimidated, and if I feel judged, then I'm like, you won't even know I'm there. And working that, I'm definitely not shy. Definitely do like say my bit and things. And I think as well, it depends who's in the room. Like sometimes, if someone asks me something, I'll go, oh, I don't mind. Like, I'm quite easy. Like, if they go, oh, what do you think of this? Do you think we should do that? And I'll go, I don't care. I don't mind. You just do what the majority is. I really don't care. Don't ask me to make any decisions. Speaking up about things and like my opinions and not choosing something. I hate choosing. Don't ask me to choose. But when it's like, what's your opinion on this? Oh, I love that. So my dad phones me and goes, what do you think of this? Oh my god, yes. Lovely conversations. I'll tell you my opinion. Of course I will. Like, we've got a podcast. I mean, this is what it's for. But yeah, I just love like if someone goes, right, what do you think of this? I'm like, okay. But don't go, oh, this or that. No. I don't want to choose. Don't get me to choose. Anyway, that's nothing to do with self-sabotage. That's just me going on a tangent again. Self-sabotage happens when you've got low self-esteem. So say someone, maybe you've been in a relationship and they've basically just absolutely drained you. Okay? And it could be what they've said, it could be their actions, it could be anything. And if you've been in that situation and now you're feeling low of the low and you're fresh out of a relationship, you've not yet had that glow up, you are going to be self-sabotaging left, right and centre. Okay? And it's hard, but as long as you recognise it and recognise that you're doing it, because I feel like that's why me and Connor are so good now, because I was able to recognise like, whoa, it's actually me causing all these arguments. I don't need to know these questions, do I? No. Do I want to know? No. Don't want to know? Don't ask. That's my thing. Don't want to know? Do not ask. Could also happen, like I said, when trauma happens. Obviously, losing my gran was a big thing. She was close to me, and now I'm scared about letting anyone in. Sorry. I think that's why I keep everyone at an arm's length. Obviously, I've let Connor in, lucky guy, and obviously my mum and dad, they're in there too. But like that, even with the 3 different things, I'll go to them for different reasons. One, Connor, he'll just nod and agree with everything I say. My dad will definitely put me in my place, and my mum will go off on an absolute tangent and talk. And honestly, see, speaking to my mum is actually hilarious. Really do want her on the pod. Can we just talk about this actually, right? This isn't anything to do with self-sabotage, I just want to tell you, okay? So, if I was to tell my mum a story, right, she'll, in some way, okay, come up with a completely different outlook on it. Completely different. If I said to her, oh, my friends haven't really been reaching out to me, they'll go, oh, maybe their girlfriend's sister's cat's goldfish has died and they're having a funeral and that's why she's not speaking. Do you know what I mean? It's just, honestly, it's just bizarre, okay? She just comes up with, like, the craziest scenarios ever and she believes it. She's like, yeah, that's it. That's why she's not responding to you, because that goldfish is dead and having a funeral. And I'm like, right. Okay. So yeah, obviously that was a bit bizarre, but that's just what came to my head. That's basically what she does. If I tell her a situation, she'll just go her own wee spin. She'll go, yeah, that's what I think happened. And Connor will sit there and go, yeah, I think so too. I'm like, yours are just both as deluded as each other, but it's hilarious to watch. Anyway, my dad's very like, we always kind of agree, okay? But sometimes my dad will see like their side, and when I'm speaking to other people, like this is why people come to me for advice, okay? So I always see both sides, but when it's me, and I'm at 100, okay, kicking off, having a meltdown, he'll go, yeah, but what about this? And usually I actually don't agree with him. I'm like, no, this is not a good idea. Raging. Anyway. And he'll go, but this could be good for you, like blah, blah, blah. And I'll go, no, it's not good for me, okay, because I'm really irritated, okay? But I do see his point, just don't agree, okay? But no, I think if I want some serious advice, good advice, my dad's the guy. And sometimes he's like one of the gals. Okay, I can go, oh my god, dad, like my makeup keeps like peeling off. What's going on? He goes, you need this primer and don't use a water with a silicone. And I'll go, thanks, dad. He's like ChatGPT. He knows everything. Okay, he was like ChatGPT before ChatGPT was a thing. Crazy, and he's actually so balmy about it as well. He knows. We can be watching a film and he'll go, they're the murderer, and I'm like, it's literally 3 minutes in. He goes, yeah, but they're the murderer, and I'll go, okay, and they are, and I'm like, how do you even know that? Anyway, so yeah, if you need a logical thinker, he's the one. Self-sabotage doesn't have to be with relationships. It could be with like your career as well. So not saying that social media and posting on TikTok is my career, because it's definitely not. But sometimes like an opportunity will come up and say it's for GHD straighteners, okay? And I'll be like, oh my god. I won't even apply. I won't even accept it because I think, no thanks. Don't deserve it. Me with 4k followers? Absolutely not. Do you know what I mean? I'll just reject. Sometimes I want to go and do a degree. I want to maybe like step up my work. Obviously I want to do the degree right now, but I don't want to do the job role until I'm maybe like closer to my 30s. But the degree obviously takes like 5 years to do. And yeah, and then I think Kiara Williams with a degree. In what world, babe? In what world? And I'm like, Kiara, stop. Like, that's just self-sabotage. That's just me, my low confidence, and me going, nope, no can do. Okay? So it could be as little as pushing back a brand and going, I'm not advertising that. I'm literally just me. Okay? I remember as well, just qualified. This was actually insane, to be honest. Just qualified. I don't know if I can say this. I think I can. Just qualified. I was 18 years old. Just qualified. And in the meeting, I was so hyped up, okay? They said every single thing a little young, naive, little 19-year-old girl that's just qualified would want to hear. You could run this place with your eyes closed, like, you're so good, you're so passionate. I was 19, okay? Even at 23, I still wouldn't do it. Just kind of took a bit of a step back. I remember posting on my story being like, guess who's just got offered to be manager and all that, okay? Then I thought, no. God, I just finished studying every weekend. Do you know what I mean? No, thank you. Want to have a wee chill. And I just thought, Why, out of everyone, have they came to the youngest, most naive girl in this place? Is it because everyone else is smart enough to know not to do that role? And I thought, oh my god, like they've asked me, I'm so young, and but they think I'm capable, and they've came to me, not them. No, they just thought I was stupid and thought I would go for it, but I didn't. So yeah, self-sabotage doesn't have to just be about relationships and friendships. It could also be your career. So if someone comes your way, let it, okay? There's a reason why you're getting these opportunities your way, and there's a reason why you're in the rooms that you're in, okay? And there's a reason why people want to be your friend, and I think as long as you kind of step back and go, why are they wanting to be my friend, and look for red flags, don't make the red flags, okay? Don't be like making your own ones and flying them around and going, oh look, there's a little red flag. Who put that there? You did. Stop it, okay? So yeah, that goes for friendships and relationships, and I hope this is something you can relate to. I hope the sound is so much better. If not, I will cry, okay? If you like the mic and the new lights, let me know. Are they going to give me a migraine? 100%. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'm sorry that I've probably been really handsy. Sorry about that. I just can't help it. I'm an expressive person, okay? Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Have an amazing day. Remember to like, subscribe, rate and review, add a wee comment, send me your dilemmas. All the links will be down below in the description. If you do want to send me a little cheeky email of your dilemmas, send it at kiarawilliamsonx@gmail.com. Follow me on my personal accounts and on the Sass Will It Bit of Class to stay in the loop, because you want to know what the next episodes are, right? So yeah, with all that being said, have an amazing week and stay sassy, stay classy, and I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye. Love ya.